When I think about what my style is in terms of photography, I'm never really sure where I stand. One of the things I love and want to do more of is explore versatility. Ultimately, I want to be able to not only have the freedom, but the skill and ability to create a variety of different images. I want to cross the boundaries and limitations I seem to have placed on myself. Since I'm still at the beginning stages of photography, I want to explore as much as I can before really putting my foot down on what my signature style is. From all the still life pictures to portraits to more commercial and editorial work I've done in the past, I feel like more than ever before, I want to push myself to try out different things. So here we go. Today, I chose to explore the style of German photographer Thomas Ruff. Thomas Ruff mostly makes conceptual serial photography. 3 of his projects particularly struck me. The first one was interiors. Interiors consisted of photographs of personal artifacts shot in the homes of his friends and family that live in his hometown back in Germany. The second one was Hauser. This series was shot in the late 80s and consisted of very clean symmetrical buildings and architecture of West Germany. And finally, the portraits. During the early 80s, Ruff photographed this series of portraits. What particularly struck me in this series is the way they're all shot in the same exact way, same framing, same format, same dimensions, same even lighting. They in fact reminded me of passport photos, or the sort of pictures you can take in photo booths.
You sure?
Mm-hmm. Looks fine.
Put this in. Okay, be ready. This is gonna come soon. No bullshit faces, no funny faces. Let's use a different color in the back. Do blue, okay? I don't want to waste any more money. This is my last $2 I'm putting in. Oh, wait, come on. All right, good. Let's see how they are. Come on.
Another aspect that caught my eye was the way the people in those pictures were typically shown with emotionless and stiff expressions, sometimes face on, sometimes in profile. I also felt that the people chosen for these pictures were all very representative of the people we see every day, the people we cross paths with on the streets. There's something somewhat special and raw about the rigidness we often see in these passport pictures. The thing I've noticed about portraits as a whole is the way they're able to tell a lot about a person we don't know. We start to build assumptions of the person being photographed. It's sort of like getting the first impression of someone we've just met. Overall, the fact that a lot of his photography is serial feeds into the storytelling aspect of his work, because when all elements are presented together, things click and make sense. During the shoot, my approach wasn't so much to try and replicate what that photographer has done, but more so try to figure out how they got that result, what lighting technique they used, how they edited the pictures, etc. In 8 hours, I shot 15 models. I used my Nikon f65 film camera. I first shot with the rest of my Kodak Gold 200 that was already loaded in my camera, Then I switched to Fuji 200. I'm not usually used to just shooting with film when it comes to planned shoots like these. Film is something I keep for more spontaneous street photography, so the process and experience itself was very different from what I'm used to. I found the process of the shoot very pleasant because of how straightforward it felt. But since this shoot was solely based on Thomas Ruff's work, it was nice to feel like I had a point of reference with which I could take inspiration from. Meeting new faces and new people was also a lot of fun. Shooting on film made post-production a much easier and straightforward process compared to when I shoot with my digital camera. I feel like film does most of the work in terms of offering a great quality of colours, tones, depth and contrast. Consequently, this made post-production less of a crucial stage and phase. It was interesting to see the difference in terms of process when I compared shooting film from shooting with a digital camera. I noticed that since post-production took a backseat here, it ended up putting more pressure on how well the shoot went on the moment itself. I mostly focused on making subtle adjustments and enhancements. I also purposely left imperfections like spots, redness, fine lines, etc. Besides that, I mostly took care of color grading the different tones present in each photo, slightly correcting skin tones or things like lip or eye color in order to add more contrast and dynamic range. Since this whole shoot was about getting inspired by another photographer, it made sense to follow Thomas Ruff's process all the way through post-production, and that's why I decided to make these frames and collages out of the final pictures I got. He's been described as a master of edited and reimagined pictures because of the fact that his work is serial and that his post-production is always quite conceptual. This stage felt like it finalized the whole project. Once the elements were put together, it made the concept feel more complete and look more polished and whole. It's almost as if these collages and frames had emphasized a common thread that had been present in all the photographs. I wanted to put emphasis on small details like beauty spots, redness, their gaze, and the energy they each conveyed, Basically, the things that make you you. I picked these models because I felt that they all had something interesting and intriguing. They all had their own quirks and details that were individual to them. Overall, I was quite happy with most of the shots I took, but these were by far my favourite. The film scan error in this photo emphasised the imperfect look I wanted these shots to have. I also loved the way his hair reflected this dark blue tone when it hit the light. I also thought the pose felt like it could almost tell a story. I love the shape of his eyes in this photo and the way they sort of drifted downwards. The fact his eyes are a soft sky blue colour also adds contrast. The gaze in this picture is also really intriguing in my opinion. He looks like he expresses some sort of unspoken sorrow. I love the angle in this one and the way details like his tattoos and rings almost dress up the picture. I love the angle and the dimensions of this picture and the warmer orangey tones. In this one, I like the small details like his beauty spots and his tattoo. I also liked the pose. Here, the small details like her curls and jewellery really added something in my opinion. I also love the soft red and pink undertones of this photo. I like the angle and pose of this one and the skin tones in this one. His gaze is also kind of shy and apprehensive in this photo, which is really interesting to me. I talk a lot about their gaze because I feel like in a portrait, someone's gaze can really build intrigue. It sort of feels like the prologue to someone's story or character. It's a catalyst towards wanting to find out more about a person to me.